She cheated. I walked away. The letter I left behind did the rest. She thought I didn't see her phone light up, but I did. It was past midnight, and the room was quiet except for her breathing, steady, confident, peaceful. My wife slept like someone with a clean conscience, or someone very good at pretending she had one. The screen glowed against the darkness. A name, a message, a small preview revealing too much and not enough at the same time. Tonight was perfect. Same time tomorrow? My chest didn't tighten. My pulse didn't spike. It was strange how the truth, when you've subconsciously known it for months, arrives with the softness of a whisper rather than the violence of a scream. I watched the ceiling instead of confronting her. Silence had a different weight that night. Heavier, sharper, the type that fills the lungs like smoke. I didn't touch her phone again. I didn't wake her. I didn't ask questions. I just stood up, walked out to the living room, and let the truth settle over me like frost. Cold, unforgiving, final. 3 hours later, I started writing the letter. Not because I wanted closure, but because she would, and I wanted her to choke on it. The next morning she kissed my cheek before leaving for work. The scent of her perfume lingered on my skin. Sweet, expensive, familiar. I wondered if she wore that same perfume for him. Her smile was casual, practiced, flawless, like she'd rehearsed it, like she'd given that same smile to someone else. She said, "I'll be late tonight. Big client meeting." I nodded. Of course. Her lies tasted better when I didn't question them. Cleaner, easier, expected. She grabbed her bag and left. I stood at the window and watched her car disappear around the corner. My mind replayed the message, the time, the tone, the familiarity hidden beneath those few words. It was suddenly obvious. The extra makeup, the long nights, the quiet phone calls behind bathroom doors, the shift in her eyes when she looked at me, like I was fading into the background of her life, a secondary character, a placeholder, someone she'd outgrown. But she underestimated me. They always do. People who cheat, people who lie. They think being quiet means being blind. I wasn't blind. I was simply waiting for the right time to see everything. That week, I operated with the calm precision of a surgeon. I mirrored her lies with silence. I mirrored her distance with analysis. I mirrored her secrets with strategy. I followed her, not physically. Physically following someone is sloppy, predictable, amateur. I followed her patterns, her credit card transactions, her GPS history, her subtle behavioral shifts. I checked her deleted photos, her cloud backups, her private email folder she thought she'd hidden. I gathered screenshots, call logs, hotel reservations, receipts, dates that clicked into place like puzzle pieces forming the picture she swore didn't exist. I didn't cry, didn't shake, didn't collapse. No. Cheating breaks people who have illusions left to lose. I had none. By the end of the week, I had a timeline. By the end of the month, I had confirmation. By the end of the night, I finished the letter. It was not a goodbye letter. It was not a confession letter. It was not even a revenge letter. It was a mirror, a precise reflection of what she'd become, and what I'd stopped being. The man who waited, the man who tried, the man who trusted. When I sealed the envelope, I knew she wouldn't read it immediately. She would avoid it, fear it, deny it. People like her never confront truth willingly. They wait for truth to corner them. And I planned to leave before that moment came. The day I disappeared was ordinary. She left the house wearing the red lipstick she never wore around me anymore. I watched her from the kitchen table, coffee cooling in my hands. She didn't look at me long. Her eyes skittered away. Guilty eyes always do. "Don't wait up," she said. "I won't." She didn't notice the difference in my tone. She didn't notice my packed bag near the door. She didn't notice the envelope placed on her pillow. People only notice what threatens them, not what leaves them. She would come home late. She would see the empty closet. She would see the missing suitcase. She would feel the silence. Then she would see the letter. But she wouldn't read it that night. She would sleep next to the sealed envelope for weeks, too afraid to open it. She would make excuses. She would tell herself it wasn't what she feared. She would tell herself, I'd come back. She would tell herself I was just angry. Denial is the last comfort of the guilty. I walked out the door with no intention of ever giving her that comfort again. Years passed. Life moved forward for me. New city, new work, new people. I shed her name like dead skin and built something cleaner from the ruins. She, however, did not move forward. I didn't know at first. I didn't care to know. But truth has a way of traveling. A mutual friend reached out one day. She's been trying to find you, they said. Says she needs closure. Closure? Cheaters always want closure when the consequences start breathing down their necks. She ever read the letter? I asked. Not until recently. A pause. Whatever you wrote, it destroyed her. Good. She had finally opened it. Finally faced the truth, not just of what she did, but what she lost. The letter was simple. Cruel only because it was honest. I listed every date, every lie, every hotel, every deleted message, every moment she thought she'd gotten away with. Then I ended with the only line that mattered. I didn't leave because you cheated. I left because you didn't think I'd ever be someone who could. That line broke her. Not the evidence, not the exposure, not the guilt. The realization that she had underestimated the man she betrayed, that her arrogance cost her everything, and that I would never, ever come back. She sent letters, emails, voicemails filled with shaking breath and apologies meant for the version of me she destroyed years ago. I didn't respond. Not because I hated her. Hate is still a type of attachment. I simply felt nothing. Nothing for the tears, the regret, the longing. Nothing for the woman who thought she was untouchable. Nothing for the past she tried to resurrect. Some people deserve forgiveness. Some deserve punishment. She deserved the silence between us, the vast, endless silence she carved herself. My story didn't end when she cheated. It ended when I walked away. And hers? Hers began the day she finally read the letter. A letter that wasn't written to hurt her, just to remind her of one truth she tried to erase. I was always the one who could walk away. She was always the one who couldn't. And that, more than the cheating, more than the lies, more than the years lost between us, was the final victory.